I've been in my been mentioning all the music I've been listening to lately. Well, I'm still on my old Christian bands I used to grow up listening to. That's the phase I'm in right now. But it's slightly moving to like a little bit of new metal. So like POD, early Pillar. You remember Pillar?
Yeah.
Early Pillar. But anyway, POD in 2025 released a version of "Don't Let Me Down" by the Beatles.
Really?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
Okay.
interesting. So
Interesting.
that's all I had to bring to the table. I just thought it's really good.
Well,
So
that's our
I have to like I'm gonna add that to my Spotify right now. Like while you guys are
do it.
talking about it,
It's
'cause I
actually
will
so
absolutely
good.
forget it. That sounds
that's
pretty
our
good to me.
bi-weekly
So
dose of Zach's music.
Yeah, so right now it's POD Pillar. I actually started listening to Linkin Park. That's not Christian, but a lot of good stuff, good kind of like a lot of good lyrics in their
Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
And I've never
yeah,
really been a big Linkin Park fan, but after I've listened to them throughout this week, I'm like, dang, they're actually pretty good.
Well,
Once again, Flyleaf's still in rotation,
yeah,
so
this is becoming a normal thing. Like
I'll start updating every week if you
every
want.
podcast, Zach is letting everybody know what's on his playlist. So,
Yeah, well, and then obviously Corn.
hey,
Corn
hey,
is like one of my favorite bands of
music
all
is,
time, so
yeah.
I got Corn playing too.
music
So
is like my second favorite thing, second to cars. So like I'm all
heck
for
yeah,
this topic. Yeah, but
that's
I've
awesome.
I went through the phase that you're talking about, kind of this metally era in high school or late high school, early college, and now I've slowly like progressed my way to like Texas country music and like stuff like
Okay.
that. I'm a really weird guy when it comes to music. I will go from like what you're saying, go from the POD to the Beatles to Sturgill Simpson, who is my favorite
Yep.
artist that of all time. And so
Sturgill
like
Simpson's from
we
Kentucky.
yes he is, yes he is. And me and Emily, we actually, in the midst of all the craziness that was Six Smokies and all the work that we were doing, we were able to get tickets to see him and his band, well, Johnny Blue Skies and his band, at Red Rocks in Colorado,
Oh,
back
nice.
That's
in
awesome.
it was September, I guess it was, and
Yeah.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
2 nights, we got rained on both nights, and it was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they put on the best show. It is honestly, genuinely one of the greatest bands I've ever seen, ever. Period. And
That's
him
awesome.
as a songwriter is just as good as they get.
So I'm also all over the place with my music because it's really funny because recently I've been posting a lot of Flyleaf stuff on my Instagram story because they keep popping up in my feed. Well, it's just my music's all over the place because I've been posting those Flyleaf videos like a couple weeks now, and then yesterday I posted Red Clay Strays.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
like big shift, big
Yeah.
shift. So like I listen to literally everything, anything and everything from like dubstep to metal to like old rock to country to um I've actually, if you listen to some POD stuff, some of it's reggae, so I can add reggae to the stuff I listen to. So I mean, I literally listen to like everything, anything and everything.
I get it.
And but right now I've just really been on a old Christian music like Cutlass and Thousand Foot Crutch and stuff like that, and then I'm slowly moving into new metal right now, and then it'll change in a couple weeks. I'll be onto something different. So just constantly
good. That's good. That
switching
keeps
between
you
genres.
that keeps you going.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a
Well-
call. We have a call. We're like probably the only people in
Hello?
the world that still have a landline. Sorry.
Yeah, what is going on here?
Oh, man. Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed Zach's weekly playlist.
Yep.
That's what he's got going
I'll
on.
come back next podcast with what I'm listening to next time.
Yeah. All right. We'll be excited to hear what you
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to. So, guys, welcome back to Faith Family Cars podcast. And today we have got Jacob Freeman of Shift Points, and now Front Porch Racing. Jacob, how's it going today?
Yeah, I am really good, guys. It's been a good while since we've got to talk, and I was thinking about it today. Like, was that like right at a year ago that we did the last podcast together? I have to
It
go back and look,
was-
but it.
Not quite a year. I think it was like around
Okay,
March or
all right.
April. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember. I was sitting here thinking this evening. I was like, that had to have been really close to a year since we did this.
Yeah.
So it's good to be
Episode-
back, and
episode 31 is when we had you on.
Episode 31.
No.
Yep.
Okay, episode 31. I didn't remember.
I'm
that's
going to go
good.
back and get the exact date real quick. 10 months ago.
Yeah.
So
10
March
months.
March 4th.
So, yeah.
March
March
4th.
4th.
Nailed it.
So, Zach, why don't you jump into our verse for today?
All right. We are in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, which says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it."
All right. So, Jacob, yeah, you were on episode 31, 32, and we talked about shift points. We talked about what you had going on, but you and I actually met at PRI in 24, right? I believe so.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you
That's
came
right.
on in 25. Yeah.
Yep.
So that was a real good time at PRI. Couldn't do PRI this year, but we just had to skip this year. Just too much going on. I wanted to
End
go.
of the year was busy.
I almost went at the last minute, and then I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah. End of the year was busy.
Yeah.
It would have been a bad choice to went out there because we had so much going on,
Right.
like in the holidays and stuff.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was kind of a semi-late decision on my side as well on to go or not, and I just enjoy going. I go this year. I got to actually hang out with our buddy Mark over at Built Shoulda Bought and his family, who are just like salt of the earth people. His family, not Mark. Let's get that very
Yeah,
clear.
definitely not.
No, I'm
Mark.
just kidding. Mark is great as well. I love giving him a hard time. We've been like going back and forth on social media a lot, and I really hope that this year that we actually can do some videos together, some collaborations. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. I think he is starting to record a little bit more, and
See, no, he records all the time. He's constantly recording. I feel like he just doesn't post anything. That's the
right,
problem.
he doesn't post.
He just
videos.
puts he just puts it on his story. He just puts everything
Yeah.
on his story,
Yeah.
and so now now he's telling me, oh, people are pressuring me, and I'm like, sure.
Yeah, you
sure.
should feel pressured. You know how much good content I guarantee he has of like things they've done. He could have some really good videos out. He just doesn't post.
Yep.
And I feel like this Volkswagen build is a really cool build.
That build will gain a lot of
That could gain some
attention
attention.
for sure.
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
It's so
For sure.
random.
And it's a rare Volkswagen that they're building.
Yeah.
So, Jacob, you posted about your Galaxy the other day.
Yeah.
And how it's just kind of sitting and nothing's happening to it. And you know how much I love your Galaxy. And it really kind of
Yeah.
hurts seeing the motor just laid out there and parts laying around. What is going
Yep.
on with that thing?
Money or lack of said money. No, really. What it is? So it's been right at a year ago. We tore that thing apart, right? So, you guys were talking about it before we started here. Like sometimes you're just like looking for content, and you're like, oh, like what am I gonna do this week? Well, one of those times, mine was, well, this Galaxy is smoking like crazy. Something needs to happen with the engine. I don't know exactly what it is, but something needs to happen. So we need to take it apart and figure out what it is. What's the problem? What's causing all this smoke issue? Like I said, this was right at a year ago. So I didn't tell Dad. It was in my garage at my house. I went out, opened the hood, and I started ripping stuff off. Started taking the 90-pound intake off of it, and that FE, the rocker arm, the push rods run through the cylinder head. So I had to start just disassembling, and Dad comes down the next day. He's like, what have you been doing? And I was like, and I opened the garage door, and he's like, oh, okay, so I guess we're doing that now. So we get it pulled out, and we kind of do a couple of videos on the first off the disassembly. Then we found a second video where it was kind of like, I called it like CSI, like trying to figure out why it was burning 1 quart of oil per 100 miles. Just insanity usage of oil. And so that was a video. We found the rings there was 3 or 4 of the cylinders that both rings were welded to the expander, like spot welded. They were completely stuck. And so that's that's where the oil was coming. And then we made a third video inspecting the block. Is it savable? Is the block good? Is the crank good? Like taking measurements on it and things like that. And turns out, because my great uncle Richard was like so anal about taking care of this car. He used whatever the cheapest motor oil there was, but he changed it every 3,000 miles, period. You know what I mean? So, like, it's kind of the old adage, motor oil's motor oil, keep the engine clean, you know? So that was pretty much it. And so the engine is in great shape. The block is perfect. The crank is near perfect. Like, I think the worst wear we had on one of the cylinders was about 1,000th of wear over the whole bore, which is practically nothing in a 60-year-old motor. So anyway, so we know that engine can be saved. And then, so after that, it kind of got taken apart. We started getting ready for Six Smokies. We were back working on this car, our 55 Chevy drag car. And then, so that's kind of where we are. That thing has to go to the racetrack kind of no matter what. But it is going to the paint shop to get the chassis painted here pretty soon. And my plan is to try and get a lot of parts together and kind of start getting a plan for that engine. So while this thing's at the body shop or the paint shop for the chassis, maybe we can actually start reassembling that engine and get it ready. So maybe we can cruise the galaxy in the summer. Is in my brain, it'll work, but I don't know if that's actually going to work in real life.
So you've decided to keep the FE then, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. So that was that's another thing about it. I was always giving Matt over on Instagram. I was always giving him a hard time. He is a big Ford guy. He loves his FEs, and so I would always joke with him and make posts constantly telling him that I was going to find a big block Chevy and stuff in that thing. But then even my friend Brian is Blue Collar Hot Rods. He's the one who sent us the cam for the LS truck. He saw that video, I think, that you were talking about, and he goes, I had no idea of like the history of that car. Like, I had no idea you've had it since you were 13. I've had no idea it was your great uncle Richard and he bought it in you and Marshall. He's like, I'm actually sorry I've made jokes about putting an LS in that car. You have to keep the FE engine in it. And he is as diehard LS as it comes. So I was like, that pretty much tells you all you need to know about that engine. It needs to stay with that car. And then, like I said, even it's so much history, and all to our family too, you know.
Right. So,
Well, I got a question for you. All right. I think we talked about it a bit when we had him on
we might
last episode. I might be lying to you, but I think we talked a little bit about Six Smokies and like drag and drives in general. So
I think
we know you took
best I can remember, we had a conversation about drag and drive, but that was before Six Smokies was even a thing, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we were talking about like what drag and drive was and like how important it was.
Yep. Okay. Well, you went on Six Smokies.
Yeah.
In 2025. So tell us about it. This is the first year of Six Smokies too, correct?
This is
potentially 2025
potentially the only year of it. 2025 was so it was organized by Sick the Mag, Tom Bailey, who is an absolute legend in the drag and drive world. I mean, the guy.
We met him at Mo Party actually.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. So he's from what I've heard and seen, and I haven't got to speak with him. I think Dad spoke with him in the staging lanes at Six Smokies and stuff, but me and him have never got to speak to each other. But just absolute legend in the drag and drive world, right? Like, I think he may still have the record for. No, that's not true. Ned Dunphy, he has the new record. But anyway, he held the record for the lowest ET average over a drag week or a drag and drive event for a long time. And but so anyway, his magazine Sick the Mag puts on different drag and drive events. They have Sick Week, which is coming up here pretty soon, here in the next couple of weeks. And then they've been doing these like one-off events that they're kind of calling them. Year before last, it was Sick 66, so they went and did a route of Route 66. And then this year they did Six Smokies, 2025 they did Six Smokies, which is what we did. And then like this year, they're because of the 100th anniversary of Route 66, they're doing a second version of 666. So with Six Smokies, it was sort of based in the Smokies. I like to joke that what they definitely did was somebody said it'd be really cool to make drag racers and drag and drive guys go down the tail of the dragon. And then that was the formation of this idea. And then they were like, oh crap, we have to like come up with racetracks to actually do this in. And so anyway,
Yeah.
we ended up in Huntsville, Alabama as our starting point. And then Nashville, Tennessee, Crossville, Tennessee, Knoxville, Brainerd, and then back to Huntsville was our route. So for those, if you guys missed our first podcast where we talked about this a little bit, Drag and Drive is exactly what it is. You show up to the racetrack, there's a tech procedure. Your car or truck has to be 100% street legal. So when you roll into the tech line, the first thing that they check, make sure you've got turn signals, make sure you've got headlights, make sure you've got a horn that works, your general safety inspection, similar to what you would do if you took it for, I don't know if Kentucky has vehicle inspections like North Carolina does,
No,
but
no more.
we have to yearly get an
Thank the
inspection
Lord.
on our cars, and that is some of the things that we do that they check for. And so anyway, so that's what it is. And then after that, you race. You make a lap at that one racetrack. You can do as many as you want in your time slot or into the open area. Then you have to get in that truck or car and drive to the next racetrack, and there's a designated route that you follow with GPS. They provide you with an app to do it, and then they'll take you. So like I said, Huntsville to Nashville, and then you race again in Nashville, and you do this for, this one was an 8 or 9 days that it took us, because one of those days, as I mentioned, was Tail of the Dragon, and that was, they gave us the whole day to do that route with the Tail of the Dragon.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
That is awesome.
So
It was
actually
genuinely one of the greatest things that we have done on the channel. And like, I hate the videos didn't get as many views as I think they deserve, but for me, like, I didn't even care about the views. Like, me and Dad doing it was worth it,
Oh, yeah.
even if we had not put out a single video.
And
Absolutely.
you did it as a father and son. I mean,
yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, that's something I was planning on doing. Actually, we were talking about doing it together if I got that white Mustang done. And as everyone that watches this channel knows, the white Mustang is not done and has been down for a year and a half. So,
maybe
I
one day.
understand.
well, yeah, hopefully.
Don't
No
believe it.
judgment here.
Yeah. Well, I still think it would be cool for me and him to do a drag and drive, even in like just like the Cobra or something. Because I just think the fact of racing and then turning around and driving is awesome.
Yep,
And
experience.
it's cool to see it at a really high level, like what you see these guys that have essentially pro mods they're driving on the street. That's cool to see, but I think it'd be just as fun to take your slow car and run it down the track.
All right.
I mean, we were running 8th mile. The best pass that we ran all week was an 882, and comparatively, I think, I can't remember what the guy who won it was, but it was a lot. It was like twice as fast, nearly. So I mean, like, yeah, I understand. It is super cool, but like, when you go to one of these events, it completely opens your eyes, because there's maybe 15 of those guys, and then there's like another 215 of guys more like us. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like not
Yeah.
in that way. Like, that was one thing I thought was funny. I saw people on social media. You know how social media is. You know, this world that we live in. But like, people like giving them a hard time. Like, oh, like, you got to be an influencer to get to these events, and you got to have a YouTube channel. And I'm like, I got there and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, there's Tom. He's got a YouTube channel. There's Mike Finnegan. He's got Blasphemy. He's got a big YouTube channel. There's probably 3 or 4 other, like Jimmy Dale and Michael Poland. They were there in the Rotson.
Yeah.
So like, there was like maybe 5 to 10 people that you would be like, you absolutely recognize them from a YouTube channel. But then, like I said, I think there was 350 cars on this event, and so I'm like, okay, there's 10 of them. You know what I mean? It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And like, most of them, I'm sure there was plenty of people like us who had a small YouTube channel that was making videos and stuff. But like, in general, most people were just there doing their deal, just happy to be there. Like, they didn't care about no
Yeah.
YouTube videos or anything like that. They just were happy to be there. And that was honestly was eye-opening for me too, because it was like, I guess in your head you do kind of think that. You're like, you're going to see everybody's going to be videoing and putting up content and making, you know, for social media, blah, blah. No, like, really, no. Like, that just wasn't a thing. Everybody was just there to race and to enjoy the week. A lot of people, like, look at them as their vacation. Like they take time off and like, okay, this is what we're going to do for vacation. Where like when I was growing up, you went to Myrtle Beach, but like these guys, they go to the drag strip. I'm like, that's super cool. Like I want to be like them, as I go along. So
that's kind of what Hot Rod Power Tour is for a lot of people. That's their
Yep,
vacation.
it is.
They take that week off
Yep.
as their vacation time. So for me,
And
I take it off.
I love
it's a spa vacation, but not really.
Yeah.
I loved Power Tour when we did it in 2023, but like after going on Six Smokies, it's going to be kind of hard until I go again. But like we did it in 23, like I said, and we had a really good time. We had a good group of people, but like if we were able to do it again and we could go with like you guys and Mark and like real Caroline and James and all them, like we've been like talking more and more, and it's like that would be like it would be good. It would still be like the old, like we did in 2023, it was good, but like doing it with that group where you're just going to be like constantly riffing off of each other and like trying to come up with ideas, like it would be also really good, but like in a completely different way than how we did it in 23. So I would love to do Power Tour again that way, but it's going to be a little while because we really like that Six Smokies deal.
Right. And I've done Power Tour with no one that I knew, and then I did it last year with a lot of people that I knew.
Oh my goodness, the riffing off each other. Right. You're right, because like, so I wasn't with him, but I was keeping up with like him every day because he was posting on Instagram. So was Eddie.
Yep.
Brick Rod Garage was there with him, and Eddie, Daniel from Red Garage, and then Dad. They were all there. But no, it's so funny because I've mentioned this before, but the thing I remember the most is Eddie is recording a video of them like in a Walmart parking lot about to leave to go to the next location in the morning, and Dad was having issues because he just put new wheels on the truck at that point. And you didn't. He put the topper on, so there was weight on the back of the truck, a lot more than usual. So he was rubbing the tires real bad. So to fix it, he decided to take a hammer and just start beating it. Right. Well, in the background of Eddie's video, Eddie's just recording. He's like, "Yeah, guys, we're about to leave. We're about to head out to our next location." You just hear Dad going bang, 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 bang in the back, just smacking the crap out of that inner fender. And that all I could think of was it. Like Eddie shows him, he's like, "Yeah, Jerry's had some rubbing problems." It's just Dad laying in the truck, just beating the inside of the fender.
The thing about that deal, though, at that Walmart, we had paired up with Mark Frisbee and his whole entourage.
Yeah,
okay?
Oh my goodness, his entourage. There was probably like 6 cars or 7 cars in that group.
We had a total of like 12 cars.
That's crazy.
That doesn't work on Power Tour.
Absolutely sounds right.
You get pulled apart. So usually what would end up happening is, and this is what ended up happening for the rest of the week, we broke into a smaller group, just us and Daniel and Eddie, and we stayed in a smaller group, and then when we would show up, and we would be walking through the midway. Here come Mark in the Blavette, him and Jamie. They come cruising through the middle of the midway, and they'd just be parking. You meet up with everybody again, So, and get to hang out for a little bit. But it's hard to have a large group and stay together because there's so many red lights. There's people that want to stop and do different things than each other.
Plus, y'all had like a dirt road or something y'all had to take as a detour and stuff.
Detours or gravel roads you had to take.
Yeah, there was all kinds of.
It was a mess.
Yeah, I've yet to go on a Power Tour, but I keep up with all his whenever he does them.
When we went in 23 on Power Tour, so we have a good friend of ours. His name's Brian Ramsey, and he's got a 55 Second Series truck. It was actually the first truck that was ever built here in the shop. So when Mom and Dad lost their job in 2004, the first big job that Dad brought in was Brian's truck. And this is genuinely, he talks about updating it and all this stuff. And if you go back to our Power Tour videos in 23, I think it was day 2, we talk about that truck and kind of some of the stuff that we did. We were in like a gas station parking lot, but it's genuinely one of the nicest trucks in the country. I'm not even exaggerating that. Like this truck, like I said, it was built in the like 2004, 5, 6 kind of time frame. So it's a little dated to that because he's got like the big wheels on it and all this stuff. But genuinely one of the nicest trucks ever. And we were having the same deal like you were talking about. We get backed up in traffic. It's awful. So I'm on the GPS trying to find a different route that we can kind of get around this traffic. So it's like, oh, here's one that's like 15 minutes faster. I'm like, okay, cool, perfect. So we bail off this road and we go down through here, and about, I don't know, half mile into this road, it turns to full dirt, gravel. Like I was like, oh no. So we're leading the way. Brian's like behind us, and I'm like, oh no. This is such a nice truck. And then we're like laughing, and I'm like, he's got to do it. So we just all roll down through there. We get there, we get to the next stop, and he's like, what the heck was that? And I was like, it was 15 minutes faster. We didn't have to wait in traffic.
Oh, man.
After going down that gravel road,
Oh, your truck was gray.
my truck was gray, and I'd
Your
wish
wheels
that we
were
would just
gray?
sit in the traffic.
Yeah. I remember the
Underneath my
pictures.
hood.
Your black wheels were literally completely
Yes.
gray.
Under the hood,
Oh,
my
no.
whole motor engine bay was completely gray with
Yeah.
gravel dust. It was
But
awesome.
see, luckily you got a patina truck. You know, that's the thing I love about patina, because like when I'm in the garage and your truck's parked over here and I'm like jacking my car up and accidentally smack your truck with the jack, I don't feel bad because you're never gonna be able to tell.
That was a very specific example.
Yeah, it was.
That's never happened, but I'm just saying if it did, you know, you never
if
know.
it did, right? If it did. Anyway, we got way off of where I
We
wanted to
did.
be. So, right behind you, Jacob, is the 55 Chevy drag car. And I know your latest videos have been on that car. What do you guys got going on? I think you mentioned a little bit about the frame getting ready to get painted.
Yes. So we are. I told Leslie Horn, the guy who owns Sega at PRI, and I only semi joked about it. I told him, I said, we're going. He said, how's the 55 coming? I said, it's going to the racetrack if it bankrupts me this year. Like it has to go to the racetrack this year. But yeah, so we're kind of putting the final touches on it. It's how it always goes with us. We that's the trouble. That's the hardest part about this car. So the car is pretty old. It's pretty dated. It was built in the late 80s. It's been updated in some ways to kind of get it up to par for how it is. But we're trying to kind of like balance we have some old parts that work versus buying new parts. And anyway, so Dad had actually built a seat for it, and as literally right before we started this deal, we were working on it. But we're trying to we got a new Kirky like full containment seat. I mean, this car's supposed to run in the 4s in the 8th mile, which is pretty good. I mean, that's pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like, and so like safety, we're trying to add some more layers of safety into this deal. So we've got a full containment seat that we're putting in it right now. So we're having to add a couple bars in the floor to get it mounted up how we want to. That's kind of the last big thing, I think. And again, until something else comes up, but the plan is I actually have to go to Germany for work here in about a week or so, about a week from tomorrow. We're hoping to have
cool
it
work
as
trip.
close as it's okay. I've been where I'm going is a really small town in Germany, and I've been there a bunch in the past 8 years. So like it's kind of old news for me, only because I've just been. So that sounds like super. It probably sounds bad, I guess, but people like think that you're talking bad, but I'm not. It's just I've just been there quite a bit. So anyway, but I'm hoping that this chassis and the body can be ready to go to the paint shop, hopefully while I'm gone. We'll have it on the rotisserie. We've got a car rotisserie. We're going to put it on to help Ray, who's going to paint the chassis, and things like that. So that is priority number one until we can get everything else done. That's why I didn't buy Power Tour tickets. I talked to Mark. He wanted me to come. He wanted us to come on Power Tour. So that's the whole reason. I'm like, everything is on pause event wise. No more drag and drive events. No more anything like that until this car is ready to go to the racetrack. So that's what
totally
we're working
lost
on.
you,
So we're
Jacob.
adding in some bars, try and get that ready, try and get that chassis good, and then we can, we'll be ready to start final assembly basically.
Right. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it?
31 years. I was 4 weeks old the
Wow.
last time that car ran. It was
I wasn't
November.
born.
It was. No, you were not. It was Thanksgiving Day of 1994. So I was right at 4 weeks old. That was the last time
Yeah, I wasn't
that
even
this car made
thought
a
of.
pass. Nope.
I wasn't even thought of.
Never thought
I
of.
think my dad and my mom both were still in high school.
Yeah, we just started dating.
Oh
Oh,
man.
you're gonna make
So it's been
when
down
he
for a long
watches this.
time.
It's been down for a long, long time.
Oh man. Oh,
All right. So I'm gonna kind of segue to something different really quick, guys. We want to let y'all know that you need to head over to faithfamilycars.com and check out our merch that we got. We got shirts, hoodies, hats. You know, actually, we have very limited, like super limited supply on the hoodies. So get them while you can. Also,
hats too.
huh?
Hats too.
Yeah, very limited supply on the hats right now. But the main thing I want to mention is to check out our Bible donation tab. We mention it every episode, but I'll mention it again. Every show, every event we go to, we put out free Bibles. And that Bible donation tab is a way that you guys can support that ministry that we're doing, because a lot of Bibles get pretty expensive pretty quick. So at Ford Fest, we gave away 75 Bibles before the night was over. So
awesome.
we want to continually do more and more and more. So how many Bibles we got? I think you got
420.
it. 420. Okay. So we have 420. What was our goal?
Was 600.
600. Okay. So our goal is 600. And that should supply us throughout the entirety of this year. We have about 8 shows we're going to that we know of for sure right now. So that being said, I mean,
And
we want to give out as many as we possibly can.
I would like to say, and the listener is a longtime listener to the podcast who just donated a very large sum that is going to buy another 100 Bibles.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm not going to say who he is,
awesome.
but you know who you are, and we really appreciate you, brother.
Awesome.
So that'll put us at 520. So we'll be about 80 from our goal.
Yep.
And I honestly think that we're going to exceed that.
Oh, for
600.
sure.
I really do.
For
with
sure,
8
but
shows.
I'm praying that we can exceed. I'm praying that we needed to exceed that goal. You know, I'm praying that people take them all, so that we have to get more.
Yeah,
You know,
think about more.
than what we got. But yeah, if you go to the homepage of faithandthecars.com, you will see the donation tab, and yeah, donate some Bibles. You know, everybody needs to see the word or hear the word of God or read the word of God. And I mean, what you donating could save a soul.
Yep,
So
change somebody's life
Yep.
forever. So Jacob, you and your dad do shift points. We've been talking about the
Yep.
drag and drive. We've been talking about the work that you guys do in the shop you're sitting in. But now you've brought in a third generation. You and your son have started a YouTube channel called Front Porch
Yep.
Racing, and I absolutely love it. Getting out on the porch, drag racing, Hot Wheels. Tell us about this new channel, and really one of the main reasons I had you on, because I love this channel so much. So
it's so awesome.
not that I don't love everything else you guys are doing, because you're great people and you got a lot of great stuff going on, but I wanted to have you on to talk about Front Porch Racing.
So yeah, so me and my son. So I'll give you a little. I have a 3-year-old son. His name is Riley, and Emily says all the time. Emily, my wife, says we're raising a YouTube kid, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry. Like he would much rather watch a YouTube video versus like a TV show, and
Yeah.
I'm certain that I have something to do with that. You know, I watch
Yeah.
YouTube videos too, and when me and Dad making videos, and he sees us using the camera all the time and like all this stuff. So he was like there for a while, and still, honestly, he was watching like Dude Perfect, like the old, like some of the really old Dude Perfect stuff where they were just full on
Dude
trick
Perfect
shots.
is awesome.
And I love Dude Perfect. I have for years. It's just like one of those
Yeah.
things that it's kind of a pure thing that they're just doing fun trick shots, and it's just a lot of fun to
they're all
watch.
Christians too.
Yeah, yeah, no, and they do they have some that points in some videos where they talk about that, which is always super cool to see, especially because I mean they've got
Yeah.
like 60 million subscribers or something. Like
Yeah,
what a
they're a
platform
huge
that they
channel.
have. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that, it's just insane. So anyway, he was really big into them, and then through that, he got onto some other videos. And there's a channel out there called Ghost Jerker, and they race Hot Wheels. Him and his sons, and they're older. They're like it's probably similar to like y'all's age, I would say, of them racing Hot Wheels. And so I'm sitting at my computer one day or at the couch. I can't remember where it was, but he comes up to me and he's like, Dad, I want to race Hot Wheels. I was like, okay, like, yeah, we can race Hot Wheels. You've got like hundreds of them. Like, let's you can race them.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to make YouTube videos. And again, he's 3 years old, and I was like, you want to make YouTube videos? So then his mom says, do you want to make YouTube videos racing Hot Wheels like Ghost Jerker you're talking about? And he's like, yeah, that's what I want to do. And I sat there, like, I thought about it for a little while, because I was like, I mean, he's 3, right?
Yeah.
Is this real? You know, is like, does it make sense in this world that we live in? Does it make sense for me to take and put my 3-year-old on YouTube? I have all of these things going through my head, right? Like all of these, like, does it make sense? Should we do this? But Riley is, I don't know how to say it other than Riley's personality is contagious. Every person that he meets, when he meets them, their like eyes light up. And like, there's people, like, there was, like, we've had times at the grocery store where he meets somebody and they talk to him and he talks back to them, and you can tell it's just like made their day. And so through all of this, I'm like, this kid is special. I know he's my kid. I'm not bragging on that, like, as far as that goes, but he has something. There's something about him, right? And so I was like, what better way to do it? If this is what he wants to do, and who am I? I'm sitting here making YouTube videos with my dad. I've got hundreds of dollars of camera equipment and things that I've bought for this, and I'm like, the only thing it takes is a little time, you know? And so we sat there, we talked about it for probably a week or so, and then I said, let's do it. Let's just figure it out. So I ordered the racetrack that we use. It's like a 6-lane Hot Wheels track on Amazon. It was there in a couple days, and I start trying to come up with ideas. Me and Emily are sitting there like, what do we call it? And we had just built a porch onto our house. And so it's a pretty big porch that wraps kind of around 2 sides of it. And I was like, and she was talking about how much she loved being out on the porch and stuff, and we said, front porch racing. It's simple, like, it's easy. It's you know, the name is simple. It's what it is. We're gonna race Hot Wheels on the front porch. That's all there is to it, you know. And so, and I guess we've put out 6 or 7 videos now, and you guys sent a full set of 16 Hot Wheels, and that was the last video that we put out. So if you guys, for everybody that's watching this, if you haven't watched that one yet, you can head over to Front Porch Racing on YouTube and see the 16 cars that the guys here at Faith Family Cars sent to us, and we do it single elimination. It is traditional drag racing, 16 cars, and then we race them down to a final. It is scaled to a 64 scale, so we take 1,320 feet and divide it by 64. That's 20 feet, 7.5 inches is what it ends up being. And so that's what we're at. I guess the engineer part of me in my brain, he likes that precision. So we've got it marked to exactly that, both lanes. And that's it. I mean, that's the channel. And he's, like I said, he loves it. He will come to me, and like, it's been really cold here the past little while. And it was cold at one point, so we had to come in here to the shop and do some racing just right over there. We did a couple videos in here, then it warmed back up, so we're back on the front porch, and now it's like freezing cold again. And so now it's cold, and he comes to me and he's like, I want to do front porch racing. And that's what he calls it. It's not like I want to race Hot Wheels anymore. It's I want to do front porch racing. And I think it's a good deal. I tell people all the time, we get a lot of feedback, especially on like TikTok and stuff from the shorts and stuff. They're like, you know, and this is where I'm starting to get a little older and I don't know what people are talking about, but like, we get comments on TikTok that I have to Google to be like, is this a good thing? They'll be like, this is so peak. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. The first person who said it, I was like, I have no clue what that is. So I Google, like, I was like, TikTok comment, peak, is it good? And it's like, peak means
that's an old man way to Google too, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. Because I was like, I want to make this very clear what I'm trying to understand. Hey, I'm 31, but I'm 82 at heart. So.
Oh my gosh. Yes, peak is a good thing. Peak is like top of the line, best thing, you know, like best type of content.
Yep, I was very glad to hear it after I got that Google search. So we get comments like that. People are like, "This is gonna blow up. I can't believe more people are not watching this." And then I kind of watch it, kind of the growth when I'm consistent with it. Again, I told you guys earlier, I've been super busy and just haven't been able to keep up with it like I want to. But like, man, if this goes kind of, if it's somehow holds a track similar to like what we've done here at Shift Points, I'm like, this is going to far exceed what we have at Shift Points, you know. But the demographics way bigger. Like you said, your wife will watch it, you know. She don't want to watch what we're doing here in the shop, and I don't blame her. You know, be like, that's a very specific thing. But like the demographics huge, so it's like this could be a big thing. But we'll see. At the end of the day, I'm just happy to be hanging out with him. I'm glad that he enjoys doing this with us. His mom tells me every time we go out to do it, she goes, I really like that you guys have a thing. Like this is your thing that you do. And I'm like, and on top of it, we're already car guys. So it's like, it's a perfect mashup, you know, of all the things that we can do. And there's good overlap with the channels, you know what I mean? It works out well because like people who are interested in our channel can be interested in that, because it is just drag racing, even though it's just Hot Wheels, but there's still really close races that you get. Like I get excited watching these races, you know. You're like, oh, he blew, you know, he's behind the whole time and he blew past him in the top end, you know. But like I get so excited about it because it's still just racing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All I know is I
but
love
it's good. It's
the
really
night
good.
of fire.
Yeah, that was that the Night of Fire is a little bit of a throwback we did, and that's kind of the other thing that I love being able to do is be able to incorporate kind of some like old history of drag racing and stuff. And our local national event is Bristol. It's only about an hour and a half away from here. But back in the day, like I think it might have even been back in the original IHRA days, they would race Friday nights after dark, because that event didn't used to land where it does now, so it would always get dark. But it was before the time change. That was when they raced Bristol originally. So it would always be really dark in the evenings on Friday evenings. And so they would have the Night of Fire, and you know, you'd have the nitro cars, and you'd have the header flames. And that was that way when I was growing up. Like when I went to Bristol, which was where I went my whole life to national events, we would I've been there on a Friday night, absolutely like bundled up, sweatshirts and coats, because it's so cold and they're racing. And that was like, they would set records, and it was just such a big deal. And I wish it was back that way. But anyway, so I say all that to say, like, we did a little tribute to that. We did an after dark version with the lights on the porch, and we called it the Night of Fire. And it's like, I like little tie-ins like that.
Yeah, I love listening to Riley say it.
Yeah. He gets so excited. So excited.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, we love the concept of it. I enjoy watching it. It's a lot of fun. And I would like to. I'm working on getting some together, but I've got some Hot Wheels out of my own personal collection. I'm gonna send to y'all.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna probably try to do a import versus domestic kind of theme, because I've got a lot of like import Hot Wheels, like S2000s and RX-7s and stuff. So I think I'll do like something like that. So if y'all wanted to do like domestic versus import head to head, I think that'd be kind of cool.
That would be awesome. That is something I've been thinking about, trying to kind of get some more themes together on different stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that idea. So for sure, yeah, send those over. And if anybody's interested or wants to see Riley, the 3-year-old, race Hot Wheels, we have a P.O. box set up. It's P.O. Box 1025, Mars Hill, North Carolina, 28754. So send them over. Yeah, please do. Yeah, it's that's another thing that has blown me away about this. We post this, and again, it goes back to kind of the contagiousness of him. And like within 20 minutes maybe of posting this first one, I've got people going, I've got Hot Wheels I want to send to him. You got what's your address? I got to get him over there. Like, and I'm like, really? Like I had no expectation of that. And I still don't. I still have, I tell people all the time, I'm like, please send them if you really want to, but like, please don't feel like you have to. Like, I don't want anyone to feel like we're like begging for this, but like, if that's really what you want to do, then please do. 'Cause like, it gives me an opportunity to support guys like you and try and promote your channel through that. So it's like I'm happy to do it, but like please don't feel like you're obligated to do it.
Well, whenever I watched the first video, I was like, we got to send him some Hot Wheels. And so we really appreciate the opportunity to be able to collab with you guys on that and send him the Hot Wheels. It was a great opportunity for us. You did a great job really promoting our channel too, and we really appreciate that. And I love
Good.
the Faith Family Cars sticker at the finish line.
Yeah, that was cool.
Awesome.
That was a good touch.
So
Yeah,
we really appreciate it.
I missed it on the first pass because I had thought of it earlier in the day. I was like, they could have like a finish line cam. That'd be like perfect. And then I was like, we run the first race, and I was like, dang it, I forgot. So I'm like running to find the sticker and getting it stuck down. I'm like, I hope this looks good, like all of this different stuff. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you guys liked it because I was like, I want to make sure I do this as best that I can think of to do it.
Now, I really thought the Super Van was going to win, but at least a Ford-powered car won. So
Yeah.
The Chevy is a Ford-powered car.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fair.
I really liked
there's a lot of close races in y'all's. I had no idea
There
who was going
was.
to come out on guessing that one.
I really thought the what was it, a 32 Ford?
Yeah.
I really thought that was gonna like actually do something because I'm like,
it had like the golf paint scheme on it.
yeah. Well, it's such it's such a lightweight car. I feel like it would have went like, but it just I don't know.
I think
guess
I've
it's-
decided
Yeah, I know. Even the Lotus too. Yeah.
we had another Lotus on one of the races previous to y'all's, and it did the same thing. I was like, I don't know what the deal is about it. I don't know what the deal is with like the Lotus cars, but they don't do well. But one thing I have noticed, any of them that have large wheels and tires, they seem to really do pretty well. And I don't know if it gets it up a little bit higher off the track because like there is like that track is pretty narrow to the Hot Wheel. And so it's like I don't know if that gets it up off enough that just lets it free roll a little bit more. But there's your little teaser for the one that's coming out on Saturday.
Well, I really liked the part where Raleigh kept saying it's broken.
Yeah.
It's broken.
Yeah.
I thought that was so funny.
I was like, dude, this joke's getting old. Like you're
I know,
overplaying
I
this joke, but he thinks it's so funny. He'll go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, didn't work. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. So he's got to pull the lever.
Oh, man.
You can tell he's a little character.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is
he's
a ball of
adorable,
fire
man.
in like all the good ways, man. He, like I said, he really is. It's the only way I can describe it. It's just a contagious personality, and I hope I hope that this is good for him, and I hope that all these things are what they're supposed to do. But that's all you can do. We do it with the right. We try and do it with the right attitude and the right perspective on things, and then hope it kind of goes the way it's supposed to.
Well, in my opinion, as long as he keeps enjoying it, I think it's a good thing to do
Right.
for sure.
Well, and the other thing is, even when he grows out of this, because he'll grow out of Hot Wheels, I mean, to where he's not drag racing.
I was about to say, I
He'll
still
be
buy
buying.
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, but he
I just upgraded to premiums is what I do. I only buy premium Hot Wheels now.
he will grow out of front porch racing most likely at some point, but he will never forget what Dad did with him. He'll never forget that Dad spent these hours with him on the front porch,
for sure.
racing his cars and videoing with him. He'll look back at those videos and he'll be like, "That was one of the greatest memories of my life."
Yeah.
And you guys will have more and more great memories because you're spending time with him now. You're going to continue to spend time with him, and you guys are going to have a great bond and a great relationship because you're starting that when he's very
And
young.
I'm sure he'll move over to shift points at some point too. When he gets old enough for it.
That's what I just heard to say. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the way I see it. Is like maybe front porch racing doesn't live forever, but maybe it does. You never know. Like that might be
Maybe.
like
That would be sick.
my-
I mean, they're full grown
Knox
adults
over
doing
at
this.
Drag
So.
Driver Pete's like, dude, you're sitting on a gold mine. Like this is huge. You're gonna keep, this is gonna blow up and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, maybe it does. And if it is, we'll use that to fund what we do here at Shift Points, I guess. We'll keep growing it.
Well, you and your wife are doing a great job with him. It's evident when you watch him on the screen, and you guys should be very proud of the young man that you guys are raising. And I know I've heard you say before that you didn't like push cars on him. He just naturally was drawn to cars.
Yep.
And, so that's the way it should be. I don't think we need to push what our passion is onto our child. We might introduce it to them. And if it's for them, it's for them. If it's not, it's not. But sometimes they're going to have a natural draw to it like he has. And I think you guys are doing a phenomenal job raising your son. So, Zach, that kind of turns us back to our verse.
Yeah.
So
Pull it back up for you.
Pull that back up and let's read that verse again.
Proverbs 22, verse 6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it."
That's right. And so, Jacob, you're a young dad, and you're really just starting in this lifetime journey of raising your child. It never ends. Okay, so Zach's my oldest. He's going to be 25 in a few months.
Don't say that, man. I'm getting
And-
old.
And
Oh.
I still,
Oh, shut up.
even as
Look, man, my back's aching, my knees are hurting.
oh my god.
No, look, it sucks to say that I am currently in my mid-20s. That's insane. Like, I feel like just yesterday I was in high
Wait
school
till,
still. You know what I'm
wait till
saying?
there's a 3 as the first number. Then you start going like, wait a
Oh,
minute.
yeah.
I used to be
Well,
20.
the thing, it's just so crazy to me because like I'll just think back of like something that maybe happened in high school, like right after I graduated, and I have to realize that was 7 years ago. 7 years ago that happened.
Wait till it's 30 years ago or 20 years ago.
Well, like, I went to the eye doctor.
13 for me, bud.
Yeah.
See, I went to the eye doctor and I was talking about telling them something about my glasses I had when I was in 11th grade, and then I was just thinking that was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Well, even as adult children, you still parent your children. Okay, you still are trying to help them. You're trying to help them with decisions. You're praying for them. You're worrying about them constantly, and that's just part of it. So you've started this journey of a lifetime journey of raising your child, and so I just want to ask you, and you didn't know I'm going to ask you this, but I know you're going to have a great answer for it. What motivates you on a daily basis? What motivates you to be the best you can be? Because I can tell that you're the type of dad that you want to be the best you can be for your son. You want to be the best you can be for your wife. Where do you get that motivation?
Well, like you said, it's I was really lucky. We talked about it last time. Growing up in the house that I grew up in, I have an amazing mom and dad who still take care of me. They still do all this stuff for me. Like literally just yesterday, we went and got Emily. We had to get a car for Emily, and Dad went with me to look at it, and make sure everything's good, and kind of ask any questions that I didn't think of and stuff like that. So like, my family is so weird, I think, because of how close we are. I mean, I work with Dad every day. I see Mom every day. And so, like, I have a really good foundation myself. I give Dad a hard time all the time. I tell him I've got a lot of notes on what to do, and I've got a lot of notes on what not to do, both coming from him, And so I like to give him a hard time about that. But so, like, my motivation on all of that is just be more like my mom and dad. Like they supported me, and there was a point I think about this pretty often actually, especially in the past few years with Riley and stuff. When they both lost their jobs, I had no clue about it. Like, I mean, of course I knew that they lost their job, right? Like I knew that both of them lost it at the same time. Like I knew it happened, but I didn't really grasp what that meant and the pressures that were on them. And even with all of that, I still wanted for very little. Me and my sister both, we got the things we wanted. They would figure out ways. They would scrimp and save to give us these opportunities that we were. So I have a really good foundation on like kind of what I need to do, like that, be more like them. And honestly, it's like, I guess it's like anybody. Your motivations at the end of the day sometimes are selfish. A little bit. But like the way I look at it is I go, I saw the things that Dad was doing here in the shop. And that's what made me want to start Shift Points. Like not really to show me, I don't guess, but like to show him, like show the world, like this guy he didn't go to college. He didn't do any of these things that everybody says that you have to do. Like, he got a welding degree at a technical college near in Asheville, and he is smarter than just about anybody that I've ever worked with. And I worked with a lot of engineers over the last 8 years. So I'm like, shift points, let's show him, you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm kind of the one who talks the most because he's the less comfortable in front of the camera, but like, look at what he can do and what we do. And now we're getting to the point now, it's like, look what we can do together. And so like that, you start building momentum. And then it's kind of the same thing with Riley. You go, I see this of this little kid, I see what he's about, and just his personality and the things that he can do and how happy he can make people. And I'm like, we need to get him in front of people, because like, he is a natural born talent. He's funny. He's got comedic timing as a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, if I don't try and nurture this, then I'm doing a disservice to the world, in my opinion. So it's like, my motivations are, for me, it's like, I just love seeing people succeed. I mean, I really do. Like, I always tell people that. I'm like, even growing up and stuff, it's like, you do things, but it's like, man, I really like to see people do things that are cool. And so like, that's our motivation on these channels, is like, have fun, show people that you don't have to, whatever, you don't have to, in a channel, you don't have to have vulgarity, and you don't have to be stupid, and you don't have to always have like these outrageous characters and this terrible stuff. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I've done characters on Shift Points. I think that they're funny, but like, you don't have to do this. Like, you can just be regular old people, and that's what we are. I always joke, I tell people all the time, like, we're a bunch of hillbillies from North Carolina. That's what we are. And I'm okay. I'm proud of that. Like, I'm genuinely proud of that. So it's like, my motivation is just to see us prove to the world that you can just be regular old people, and you can do YouTube, and you can make cars go 4 seconds in the 8th mile, and you can race Hot Wheels, and you can do all these things. And why not? Why other people do it? Why not us?
Yeah.
So it's like, I get, like I said, it's a bit selfish, but at the same time, I just like to see my family succeed, and I want to see us. I want to see people see what we can do.
Well, one of the things that you started out talking about was that you watched your parents and you saw the things that your dad did that you wanted to be like. And I think that as a good dad, right, you want your child to look at you and say, and this is a selfish thought, but you want your child to look at you and say, I want to be like dad someday. When they're little, you want your child to say, I want to be like daddy. And as you get older, you want your child to see things that you do, certain aspects of you that they want to do with their child, or how they want to raise their family because of something that you have instilled in them. And I think a lot of that comes also from wanting your kid, in all honesty, wanting your kid to be proud of you too, as a dad. And I mean, how many? I know as a kid growing up, there were some kids you didn't know who their parents were. You never saw their parents because they were ashamed, and maybe they were ashamed because they were an alcoholic or they were a drug user or something. But you really deep inside want your child to be proud of you. And just like you want your wife to be proud of you, I want my wife to be excited when something great happens, and so for me, my motivation and my strive is to not only make my Heavenly Father proud of me, number one, but for my wife to be proud of me, for my children to be proud of me, and so I live every day to make that happen, and hopefully they see something that helps them to be a better man, and I think that's exactly what your dad probably did. I think that's exactly what you're doing with Riley, and the scripture tells us to train up a child in the way he should go, and he'll never depart from it. Yeah, he might walk away for a short period of time, but that was instilled in him at a young age, and he will always return to the roots that you have taught him through scripture and through spending time with him and teaching him how to live as a good moral person, and And just like you said, you don't have to have filth. You don't have to have bad language. You don't have to do all these things. You can be good people, genuinely good people, and I think that creates even better people, as time goes on. So I have a lot of respect for you guys for what you are doing, and I appreciate you, talking about it a little bit. But really, honestly, when it boils down to it, we just want our kids to see something in us that they want to carry on for generation and generation and generation.
You're absolutely right, and that's actually a little bit of the conversation that we had when he came to me and said, like, I want to make a YouTube channel. There's all the things that I spoke about earlier, but then I told Emily, we were talking about it just with us one night. I said, like, can you imagine me saying no? I was like, why? I was like, I'm sitting here
Right.
doing this with my dad. He sees me making these videos. He sees me doing this. And I'm like, I would hate to be the reason for him to be able to say, like, well, I wanted to do that, but my dad said no. And I'm like, I'm the last person in the world that should ever say no. You know what I mean? Like, that would be crazy. So it's like, that was one of the other motivators that I was like, if this is what he wants to do, we'll hold on to it and make sure he brings it up again. And then when he did, we said, all right, let's do it.
Right. Right. That's awesome. It is so awesome, and I really believe it's going to take off. I'm like some of the other people that have told you that. I really believe it's going to be something big.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just it's too fun to watch, and he's hilarious, and he's so cute at the same time.
Oh, he's a
And I
guy.
know sometimes he probably is a handful, but
Of course.
that's just the little boy in him. So
Yeah,
watching him ride
it's
around
funny.
in
Like,
that little
if
Lightning
we
McQueen car is cool too.
that thing's sitting right off the screen actually here in the shop. Yeah, I think that's and like you see these things and you think about it and you're like that's kind of that could be on front porch racing. Like if we could start.
Right.
There's people who race Power Wheels. You know what I mean? Like
Power
the
Wheels,
Fast
There
Kids
is.
Club and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's huge.
Yeah.
So it's like I mean like that could
Those-
if that
those
was
are
something he was
awesome.
interested in. Yeah, they're so cool. They're so cool. I've already
I mean,
been talking
it's
about
like
what
it's
I
like
could do to this
legit
one.
prep drag racing.
Yeah.
It is.
Have you seen the videos
Oh, yeah.
online?
I've
Okay, I
watched
was about
them.
to say, like, it's legit prep drag racing. You
Yeah.
got all these grown men out there.
Yeah.
I guarantee there's gambling involved. That's so funny.
No, it's
They're
wild.
prepping the
It is
street.
crazy, like how fast you can get these things. I mean, they don't fly.
Oh, it's awesome.
And so, and that was the other part. Like, it's the little things sometimes. When we got him that car, he's out and he's driving around in it, and he's doing this and doing that, and then he goes, "Dad, I want to drag race." And I was like, oh no, like this poor kid. Oh, he's eating up with it. So I was like, all right, let's line it up. So I line it up, pull the flashlight out of my pocket, and we're turning on the flashlight. And so like he's already understanding the concept of racing and stuff like that. And that's another thing for me. Like, we talk about how it was with our situation when I was growing up. It was very different than the situation he's growing up in so far, thank the Lord. And as far as that goes, but one of the things that I want people to know, and I tell Emily this all the time, I'm like, you don't have to have the fastest thing. You don't have to have the fastest car. You don't have to have the fastest truck. You don't have to have the coolest. I'm like, you need to understand that everybody needs to understand you can show up to a drag strip on a Thursday night, Wednesday night, whatever they run street cars and just blast down the track. Like these are things that you should do. Like this is and like something that's something I didn't do. I mean, the first time I went down the drag strip was last year. I was 30 years old, and it's like, why did I never just like take my Tahoe that I had when I was in high school and just go rip down the drag strip just for the fun of it? I mean, like, don't be stupid. Try not to break the car that you own, but at the same time, like, these are experiences that I think people need to do, and it's cool I want to make sure he has those opportunities. That like, hey, if he gets to a certain age, and let's say it's a junior dragster or something like that, if we have the financial means or the ability to do it, if he says he wants to do it, I'm just gonna say, all right, let's do it. Similar to what we've done here with the YouTube channel. Like, why not? If we can do it, why not? Like, can't take it with you. Like they're not gonna put money in the coffin with you. I mean, they can, I guess. That would be insanity. Maybe they'll write you a check or something when they do it. But at the same time, it's like I would much rather go out with $0 and be able to say, "Man, we had an absolute blast the whole time that we were down here on this old blue and green planet," than to have thousands and thousands of dollars locked up in a bank and then and die. It's like, what a waste.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
Yep.
That's how I look at it too. That's how I look at it too.
Well, Jacob, it was great having you. Do you got anything you want to add?
I think that's it, guys. Man, I just like last time. I've really enjoyed this. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I love that Bible donation aspect that you guys are doing and taking those to the shows. It's something that I honestly might steal and try and do
That's
for
fine.
some
Right
events that
ahead.
we do as well. Because I've been trying in the past year or so. I've been trying to do better. There was for a good while that I wasn't regularly going to church and things like that. And Emily was getting on me about it, and she was absolutely right about it. She's like, and it goes back to Riley, and when he started going to his church class on Sunday mornings, and you could tell a difference in him. And you get in the car and what'd you learn about? I learned about Jesus and I learned about this, and I do genuinely believe that being on this podcast and seeing like what you guys are doing help direct me to clean up my act a little. I wasn't, I try not to be like a terrible person or like do bad things, but like I'm trying to get more involved in my church. We're actually on Sunday, like this Sunday, our church does like what they call engage, and it's something that you can come into the church and you can get more involved and help volunteer and learn more about and what you can do as a person. And they do these classes, so that's something that we're doing on Sunday. And so it's like I do, like I said, I do believe that doing this podcast and seeing what you guys are doing has helped me really kind of pinpoint some stuff and get going. And then with Riley involved in it too, he enjoys it, and we've been doing it regularly and making sure we're only missing church whenever we're on drag and drive events. And so that's a big deal, and things have been really good this year. That was another thing I want to just kind of like bring up. I think at the beginning, it's since we're recording here so near the beginning of the year, doing what we're doing, you, me, dad, like all of us doing the social media thing, it's like so easy to get like completely overwhelmed. Like,
Right.
am I doing the right thing? Am I posting at the right time? Am I do I need to do this kind of reel? Do I need to try and jump on a trend? It's constant. And then you sit there and you scroll through Instagram and you just get absolutely overwhelmed with it. And that's where I was at the end of last year. I was like in full, like multiple days, blood pressure like through the roof, like completely just like worried, like, am I doing the right thing? And how can we make this grow? And, you put a lot of time into what you're doing and you want to see it succeed. And so it's easy to get overwhelmed with it. And I remember one day I said, I'm not going to worry about this. It's going to do what it needs to do. I'm going to try and do things the best I can. Basically I said, I'm going to put it in the Lord's hands. He'll put me where I need to be. He'll put if the post needs to go when it needs to go. And it's like after that, I completely freed up. It was like weight off my shoulders. Okay, like there's still pressure that I put on myself on trying to get the car to the racetrack and stuff like that. And I still, if I'm not careful, I'll let that sort of creep in and start relying on myself. And that's foolish. There's no reason, because I can't do anything. I mean, I press the buttons to post it or whatever. But like as far as ideas and stuff, like, and it feels like after I did that, like I've had ideas come to my brain. Like you'll just be sitting there and something pop in, and I'm like, I see you. I see you, big guy. I hear you. Thanks for that one. We'll try and get that filmed up and do it right or whatever it is. And so like to kind of close it out a little with it being so early in the year, even when this comes out in February, it's like if you're doing this deal and you're doing the social media stuff and you set goals, that's good. But like, don't kill yourself over this. I mean, at the end of the day, what's some followers on Instagram or whatever? Like, don't let it take years off your life trying to grow a following. It just have fun, because at the end of the day, that's what it's most important about. If you're not having fun, the people that watch your videos know you're not having fun, whether you like it or not. They know it. So like, get out there and have some fun. Do some have jokes. Just lighten up. Everything's fine, because at the end of the day, we have a good opportunity. You guys, me, other people. You get to work with your family. You get to work with your son. You get to do really cool stuff. You get to go to cool events. I overlook that sometimes. Like I get so focused on the event and like, oh, I need to make sure I video, make sure I capture everything, make sure it gets posted and all this stuff, that I don't even enjoy the event. I'm like, how ridiculous is that? Like the things that we're doing are so cool don't get overwhelmed with trying to grow a following and not have fun while you're trying to do that. So that's just a little thing that was on my heart whenever we started this tonight. So, but again, I
That
appreciate
is-
you guys so much, and I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I do my best to try and help it and tell people about it as much as I can.
Right.
So.
You do, and that is some great advice. Some really great advice.
Well, I mean, that's this is coming out in February. We're recording it in January. That's actually what we're currently doing is taking that
a little bit of a
yeah,
break.
taking that needed time away
Yeah.
to just kind of like do other things.
Yeah.
We
Right.
love what we do on the channel. We enjoy doing it. We enjoy recording and working on our cars and everything. But there are things in life outside of cars, outside of YouTube,
Yep.
outside of social media,
Yeah.
and you need to make sure you're taking care of those for sure.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we've been doing some recording, of some podcasts.
Yeah, but the
and
recording is
stuff,
the
but
easy part.
It is. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that is.
We haven't been doing anything else with it though.
So yeah, we've been
editing or
recording
nothing,
through
so-
January, but it's like I mean, we've just been kind of doing the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a couple
Yeah.
episodes coming out in January, but
Yeah.
that's it. Our Instagram, we've barely
Slow
been on
down on it,
Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it feels good to take the break, and you feel
It does.
refreshed after it. Like I'm ready to get back into
Yeah,
it.
me too.
I feel good now.
Yeah. So Jacob, that's some great
Yeah,
advice.
exactly.
We really appreciate all the love you've given us. It's to hear somebody say that you're part of the reason, listening to watching some of the stuff that you guys are doing is part of the reason why I'm working on drawing closer to God. That means everything. That's
I mean, that's
exactly
what
why
we're doing
we
it.
do what we do.
Yep, that's why we're
So-
doing it.
So we appreciate the
And
kind
that's
words.
that's what I love about it.
So tell everybody where they can find Shift Points, where they can find Front Porch Racing, and why don't you talk a little bit about your merch, because I know that you've
Yep.
really updated what you guys got on your website.
Yeah, so you can follow us on all platforms: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. It's all of them are just Shift Points. And then for Front Porch Racing, same thing across all platforms. Front Porch Racing should find you. Luckily, I tried really hard to make sure there wasn't a bunch of other channels that had similar names. So if you Google that, you should find us. Either one of those names. So you can definitely do that. You find, like you said, Front Porch Racing as well. And I'm also working on some merch for Front Porch Racing. So my good buddy Nick
Nice.
Trueblood, he's the one who did our Linko logo. Me and him have already been talking about a Front Porch Racing. I think he sent me some early drafts, because I told him normally when I come to him, I just absolutely bombard him with these ideas. Like I've got this idea, and this one. I told him, I said, it's me and my son racing Hot Wheels. Here's like a little AI logo that I made because I just needed something to get us started.
Right.
Like, all right, now that's what you got. Now you do your thing. And so he's been working on that. So that's coming too. If you Google Shift Points, if you Google Shift Points Linko, that'll find our channel, our website, excuse me, or you can find our website on any of the bios of any of our social medias as well. I want to say it's shiftpointschannel.myshopify.com or something like that. I think that's right. So anyway, but you can check that out. I had done some kind of these retro logos or tribute logos, I call them, to some old Pro Stockers from back in the day. So if for anybody that doesn't know, the Linco really kind of came to its own in that 80s pro stock era. And so the Grumpy Jenkins and guys like that, they all did different versions of them over the years. But that's where it really came to be. And so we made a Grumpy Jenkins logo with the Shift Points, Bob Glidden, Ronnie Sox, and Ryer Morrison. So I tried to cover everybody. I covered my Ford guys, I covered my Dodge guy, my Mopar guys, and my Chevy guys. And so I tried to cover all brands with that. So Matt up in Chicago, he's got the Bob Glidden. He's the one with the Galaxy, and we've been lucky to get some of those out there. So check those out. You can get them hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, all that good stuff. So
All right.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Well, that'll do it for this episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in and joining us on this episode with Shift Points. it's the second one we've done now.
Second one.
Yeah. So you know where to find us, guys. We're everywhere at Faith Family Cars. Once again, I want to hit the point of the Bibles. Go check out faithfamilycars.com. Donate some Bibles.
All right, guys. So we love you. We appreciate you. We will see you next time.